Hello, welcome back to Frame Fatale's the Tails block. This ain't the Sonic block. This is gonna be a nice little treat. This is something that doesn't get featured very often. This is the Android version of Sonic 1, so there's some definite changes. And we'll talk about those when we get into the first act or so. But this is gonna be played by Tails, and it's gonna be the beat the game category, so no special stages here. So yes, Sonic 1 2013 Whitehead version. Flying Fox, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll count you down from 5, okay?
Okay.
Alright. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Sonic 1 2013. There are some differences. First off, the game came out in 2013. The game is on Android and iOS only, and we are playing the Android version being run on a virtual machine via BlueStacks, using I believe it's a keyboard that Flying Fox runs on. But
No.
Are you run on controller or?
Controller, yes.
Okay. I was hoping it wasn't going to be keyboard. That would destroy my wrists personally.
No. Can't do keyboard.
Yeah, I'm very much the same way. So, so there's a few differences between the mobile version and the Genesis version, and you're gonna hear me say the word solid a lot in this commentary. But first off, you can play as Knuckles and Tails. To unlock Tails, you have to beat the game as Sonic. If you wanted to unlock Knuckles, you would need to beat the game with Chaos Emeralds as Sonic. Tails, just like in CD, can fly and swim. You can spin dash, which you can't do in vanilla Sonic 1. And you can remove the speed cap like you can in CD, and you can also get rid of that nasty spike glitch that plagued the Genesis version of Sonic 1. You can also use the elemental shields from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which becomes important in Marble Zone. And just like in CD, there are no level wraps, there are no zips, there are no slope glitches. Those have all been patched out in some way, shape, or form here in the mobile version. So much like the CD 2011 version before this, this is a very execution platform sort of speedrun. So this was when the game was re-released, DJ. That is why it's called Sonic 1 2013. That was the year this version came out. So here in, we've already missed pretty much the entire first zone. But we've skipped a couple of strats that are Genesis exclusive and an entire level wrap. So hey, that's classic Sonic commentary in an absolute nutshell right there, actually. But we're gonna be entering Marble Garden. That's Sonic 3 and a much worse zone. We're gonna be entering Marble Zone. So. Here in Marble 1, there are no zips in any of these levels, because all the walls are solid. You'll be hearing me say that word many, many times for the next, hour and some change. So we're actually going to grab a fire shield right here to be able to run over some lava a little bit later. So because we can't skip these levels like we can in Sonic 1 via level wraps and zips, we have to do them normally. And the closest we can get to doing them not normally is by using the elemental shields. So we don't want to lose them here to these spikes. We're going to spin dash across the lava. And if we lose the shield now, it's no big deal. We don't need it for any more lava in this run, but all the same, we'd like to not take any damage because that does cost some time. And to be very clear, there is a ROM hack out that that does allow you to play as Tails with similar abilities in Sonic 1, but it doesn't have certain things patched out like this version does. So we're going to spin right into that Caterkiller, also known as one of the worst enemies in the game. And once again, we're not going to have a level wrap that you can do at the very beginning of the stage because, once again, the wall is solid. So once again, we're going to do this stage mostly as intended and fly across the lateral ceilings here to be able to keep Tails' flight speed up. Because much like in CD, that carries over. He flies horizontally a lot faster than he does when he's just free in the air. And yes, the Android version, there is an Android version of this game. This is played exclusively on Android or iOS. And the run we'll be seeing after this, and here's another instance of why the fire shield is great. The run after this, which is Sonic 2, is also going to be played on the same virtual machine, which is BlueStacks, to be able to run the Android version on Windows. So that was Act 2 of Marble Zone, and we're going to move into Marble 3, which, once again, there's no level wrap in this one because the wall is, what's the word, kids? Solid. But however, in this version, there was a top route that was added, which is much faster than playing the stage as intended. This is only accessible by Tails and Knuckles, or Sonic if you have Tails as a partner. And we're going to damage boost there, which is a very common thing in classic Sonic speedruns, where we damage boost to abuse iframes. We did it in CD for faster boss fights in some instances, and we did it just a bit ago to be able to get across the lava faster. So we're gonna head into this boss, and normally you just jump into the boss to damage him, but Tails has his tails. And Tails utilizes his propeller-like rear end as a weapon. And his flight is in fact lethal to all things robotic. And Robotnik. So, coming up here in Spring Yard 1, we're actually going to have one of the only instances, there's a couple of them, where we can fly over the top of the ceiling. That's not very common in this version, and is not common, or I think even possible in Sonic 2. Because Christian Whitehead did wise up a little bit and realize, oh, you can kind of cheese entire zones by flying over the ceilings in CD. Let's fix that in Sonic 1, why don't we? But we can't actually fly over the other ceiling in this level, for the main reason being the fact that it's, what's that? Solid. But we want to make sure we stop flying at a certain point, and Flying Fox uses a visual cue in the background using the mountains to start her descent, so that she can hit that not that checkpoint, but that shortcut right before this signpost, so that's Act 1 in a mere 23 seconds. Meanwhile, in Spring Yard 2, this is a great time to talk about absolutely nothing. We could talk about how all these walls are solid. Or I can answer some questions about the run in chat for the duration of this act, because this is just a pure platforming instance. We could talk about how much we like the word solid. But no, Tails is a boy. A very young boy who likes to follow Sonic. Or so says the lore. But that is a whole 34 seconds of my life just gone. Is there a point in the game where the walls are gaseous or liquid? No. The closest we get is Labyrinth Zone, but unfortunately we don't quite reach that. It still remains solid. How much faster or slower is this run compared to the original? I would only be willing to compare this to a glitchless run, which there is a separate category for that on the leaderboards, because there's the glitched and then glitchless categories. I don't remember what the glitchless world record is, but the glitched world record run in real time, I believe, is about 15 minutes and some odd change by Zaxxon. And that's with level wraps. Like, there's a wall zip in this stage that we can't do because the ceiling is, what is it? Solid. This is like saving anime all over again, except, you know, we're not playing as Pikachu. We're playing as Tails, and we're combating the solid walls. This is another instance if we're just going to enjoy invincibility and then also abuse Tails' flight to be able to damage Robotnik a little faster than Sonic would be able to. Man, we've got solid Delos, which is solid backwards. We sure love our solid walls. So, here in Labyrinth 1, also known as the point where I don't like playing Sonic 1 anymore, you notice between Tidal Tempest and Labyrinth, there's a trend here. I don't like the water levels. This is why I'm a 3D Blast runner, and that game has no water. But with this upcoming zone, we have liquid that we fly over. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that can happen. Sometimes the burrow bots just don't want to come out of the ground like that. I'm not sure what causes it. It just happens sometimes.
Okay, so we got that. Okay, cool. We did not die. If there was spike glitch, then we would have died to that burrow bot, and that would have been great. Totally great. So this next zone we would rate 7.8 out of 10. Too much water. Or I meant this next act. Did I say zone or act? It doesn't matter. The point is that this actually has a zip that is blocked off from us. It's patched out in a rather humorous manner. We're not going to be able to really showcase it in this run effectively, but there is a switch that you step on a little bit later, and when you do, it causes this bridge to go into the wall, and we clip into the wall in the Genesis version right down here. We would normally stand on that bridge to go into the wall, but Christian Whitehead knew better and proceeded to put a half an invisible tile in there, so you actually end up pushing against nothing. And if you fly upwards, you're flying against nothing. So once again, the wall is solid.
I think I just tied the IL world record. I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness.
I think. I would need to check that.
Like, definitely we'll check that afterwards. That would be great. And pretty sick. So we have Labyrinth 3 also, where we once again avoid a level wrap, or are, unable to do a level wrap because the entire wall near the falling block that starts the clip-in, which is right here, we'd use this falling block to clip into the wall on our left to start the level wrap. But that wall is solid. If you try to clip in, it just pushes you right out. So we once again do... This is actually an instance where the bottom route is actually faster. Normally in classic Sonic games, the top route tends to be more difficult to maintain, but is actually faster. Not in this case, no. And we thankfully have this bubble shield, so we won't be hearing any anxiety-inducing drowning music, in theory. Assuming we can maintain the shield. So if the second act had you a little freaking out because of the music, then by all means you won't be hearing it here. And meanwhile, there's this obstacle course of a boss fight. You don't actually have to damage Eggman and beat him, you just need to get to the top without dying. And for most casual players, like myself included, for this game, when the water actually catches up to you, it can mean you're probably going to die because the physics change and it's not fun. So coming up next in Solid the Hedgehog 1, thank you, Old Clove.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like, I actually quite like that, thank you, I'm stealing that. We're going to go into Starlight 1, where we have no level wrap by this set of stairs, platforms, bridges, whatever you want to call it, because once again, say it with me kids, the wall is solid. So there would be 3 level wraps consecutively in the Genesis version, but there's just not in this version because who's the star of Metal Gear Solid? Oh wait, Solid Tails, right? Solid Fox. That's what it is, right? It's not a reptile, right? So the ramp that we just catapulted ourselves off of, we would normally clip into, but that wall was once again made solid. So in this instance of classic Sonic, the wall where normally we're used to the walls being merely a suggestion, that's not what's happening anymore. The walls are mandatory. Mandatory wall platforming? That was a very bad attempt at making a 3D Blast joke. Forget I said anything. So as we enter Starlight 3, we're actually going to skip a portion of the level through flight. Right around here. Yep. There is, once again, no level wrap here. That fan we just flew over, the wall is solid. So we can't clip into the wall to start a level wrap or zip. And instead we just have to cheese bits and pieces of the stage as best we can with Tails' flight and the spin dash. You can actually tell, like, watching this version of the game being run, that this game was just not designed with a spin dash in mind. And speaking of cheese and Tails' flight, you don't need to play this boss as intended at all. You just utilize your propeller tails and just destroy Robotnik. So we're actually going to be going into the last, not the last zone, it's not really the last zone. This is the second to last zone called Scrap Brain, also known as Incredibly Obnoxious in Vanilla. But there's no zip by the bottom route in this stage because, say it with me kids again, the wall is S-O-L-I-D. That spells solid, if you didn't know. So we're actually just going to use spin dashing and flying to try to get through this stage as quickly as possible. And thankfully, this stage is a lot less painful with Tails and his flight. And then moving into Scrap Brain 2, we once again, there's a set of red doors that are near the floor that we would use to, once again, initiate a zip. But, that set of red doors there, but once again, the floor is solid. The walls are salad, at least it's healthy. Yes, I agree. So we're gonna have these delicious salad walls and floors and ceilings. If we don't believe in the consistency of the walls, we can then instead try to experiment with more liquid and gaseous designs in the next classic Sonic game. We're getting vegetables puns in chat. This is fantastic.
Oh, well, I have to check that out later.
Let us have a good run.
Oh my god.
Watch out for those saw lids. S-A-W-L-I-D-S. Walnut salad. I love this. Epically solid Dr. Egg salad. Oh my goodness. Chat is killing it right now. I don't even need to commentate. I could just read chat. So we do actually, we can't do slope glitch in this game. I'm not going to try to explain what slope glitch is, because by the time I'm done explaining, we'll be done with the run. Just know that there is a glitch that involves weird slopes, and we would normally be able to just skip right into the final zone. But now that we are in Final Zone, normally you'd see in a Genesis run that we're able to manipulate the position of Robotnik. I think it's simply by not holding an input when we actually strike him. But that doesn't work in this version because Whitehead patched it out. So the placement of Eggman in each cycle is actually RNG. We can't control this. So up and down the egg salad goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. It's not because the wall is solid, I promise. That's not why. This is RNG. It is the one instance where I can say that we can't do something because it's solid. It's not because it's solid, it's because it's the other thing that we don't like. It's RNG. Is Tails a puppy? No! Tails is a fox. He is still
time is coming up.
Oh, time is coming up, yes.
Time.
If you're a little worried about whether or not we're gonna have any more solid walls, don't worry. There's more of that in the next run. Do stick around. That was a fantastic run. 2012. Very solid time.
Wait, what?
2012.
My fastest time RTA is 2048.
My goodness.
I just PB'd.
Congratulations, we just got a solid PB. I'm not gonna stop.
I don't know what it is in-game time, but I'm pretty sure it is. I've got to check, but RTA-wise, definitely.
Yeah, RTA-wise, that's definitely a PB. We'll find out if it was a later on. Give Flying Fox a solid follow. Maybe you'll find out if that was actually an in-game time PB, because much like the other classics, we do time this game in-game time on the leaderboards.
Yeah, I didn't want to have my splits up so I could concentrate because I knew there was a potential to get a new time. I just didn't want to jinx myself.
Yeah, no, like, absolutely. So we had a very solid run, solid PB, and, dare I say, solid salad, too.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's why I wasn't talking much during the run. It's just, I was so close to PBing a few times in my last practice session. And chat really wanted me to get to do it in the marathon. Well, guess what? I did it.
Exactly. Did in fact save it for the marathon. So that said, coming up next is Sonic 2 2013, so it's just like this. It's the Android version of this game. Of that game, rather. And it, once again, is full of instances where we can't do level wraps and stuff because things are solid. And so you get to hear more solid commentary. And I'll be very happy to deliver that to you as soon as we can get set up. So, don't go away. We'll be right back with more Sonic. Or rather, more Tails.